I have itemized some missteps that I've called Mark Golding's missteps. A pattern, not a moment. I want you to comment on them briefly for me. The first one, Harry, is the weight of history. The association of Golding with FINSAC. Don't you think that this hurts his image?
In fact, I'd say, neighbor, it hurts his image as the opposition leader, but it cements his stance in terms of his character overall. Because to see how he's failing in these matters, especially the one of late, still links with how he handled the FINSAC. So that would be a part of his history. So he's continuing that history that people would really want to not know or remember. But he has just reminded people of Jamaica that he is complicit with hurting them, with being a benefactor or beneficiary, some way, one in a shape or form, to these issues. So he would have gotten the opportunity as well, neighbor, as an opposition leader, to kind of rebrand what people know of him because of FINSAC, right?
Yes.
You got the opportunity to be seen as a leader as opposed to as a businessman, right? But he has failed in that manner, right? He has not risen above what he was. And as such, people are remembering just that.
Yes. The second one, Ari, is the absence of a grand narrative. There is no defining thing here, no unifying vision. Without purpose, Harry, leadership drifts. Would you be able to tell me tonight what is the opposition's vision for Jamaica? Do you have any idea what they're about?
Neighbor, we've been trying to find out not just the character of the opposition, but we wanted to also know what was their ideology. Where do they want to take Jamaica? In extent, what is your vision? What is your roadmap for Jamaica? And we are yet to see it, right? In fact, what we've seen is take on debt, because all the suggestions is about money and debt, right? Every situation has a commonality, which is debt.
Yes, Harry. Well,
and money.
You're a well-read man. You do your research, and I don't see you as a partisan hack. You must be able to tell me what is the unifying narrative of the opposition. What is it that they are offering Jamaica? What?
They themselves have given us enough evidence, neighbor, to remove the concept that they have something for Jamaica. And I'm going to give you two examples real quickly. Starting speeches by saying 401,913 people.
We're going to get to that.
All right? These are the things to show that you don't want to move Jamaica forward. If you keep bigging up just a selective few, right? Less than a quarter of the population you are outright speaking towards. It doesn't show that you have any vision outside of those who support you. And when you're a leader in waiting, you're the opposition leader, right? Which means you have the probability to become the prime minister, and you are unable to speak for the country. You're only able to speak for a portion of, then you aren't ready. You have no vision for those who will be against you, those who don't agree with everything you say, those who are undecided. You can't put a proper vision for them. And it doesn't matter how much manifesto you read from. It doesn't show a true vision for Jamaica overall. We don't even know what direction you want to point us in. And that is key, because we're at a situation now and in a position where it's a pivoting position. We're on an axle, not a crossroad anymore. We're on an axle where we have to pivot to move forward, to advance, irregardless of what happened with Melissa. We have gotten another opportunity to take another stance, but we have to pivot in the right direction to take the right opportunities. And we don't know if the opposition becomes government, where they will take us.
Yeah, well, I must tell you today that in preparing for this program tonight, I was trying to see if I could, figure out what is it that this party is offering to the people of Jamaica. And believe me, Harry, I must confess, I had very great difficulty finding things out. There is nothing there that could say that showed me that there was any coherent, clear direction that the party wants to take Jamaica. Very, very concerning for the government in waiting, Harry.
You were searching for a needle in a haystack.
Yes. In other words, even by default, if they should get the reins of government, Jamaica would be visionless. What a sad state.
It is, neighbor. It and it's not something. Well, let me put it this way: Jamaicans should be proud of what they did in September 3. Put it that way.
Yes,
they should, because the next example, neighbor, is, and I'm going to just draw briefly about 10 seconds or 20 seconds on the budget. The budget was the opportunity to show Jamaica where you would have taken us. And instead, he pulled for a manifesto that was written well before a Category 5 hurricane, and still think it's viable. Still think everything there is achievable. Still think they can be done and is applicable and can be implemented to current day. That is the vision, which means it wouldn't even be blind and lead blind, neighbor. It's almost like when you're driving, you ever probably not pull down your handbrake, or for the person with the fancy vehicles, the button push where you can release the electric brake. Have you ever put your car in drive and the handbrake still up, neighbor, and you can't move?
Yes.
That is exactly what we would be getting as time goes by. So you're stuck in the same position and everybody else gone.
Yeah. The other one, Harry, is the whole matter of identity and distance. Mr. Golding says he's a Topanaris. Can a leader be of the people while sounding above them? Is this not a challenge here?
I think he sees it as a challenge, but that is one of the biggest thing a leader can face when you are put in the position to lead. It simply means you have to embody the full identity as to how, because understand identity, neighbor. You don't have to be like the people or be the same as the people. Because if that was the case, you would have been one of the people and not be put in the position to lead. Because leaders stand out. Leaders are there and comes up because people see that you are not just having a potential or being above them, but that you have the potential to guide. You have the vision to show them in a manner that they can see and follow your directions and guidance. But when you're falling into this trap now of you don't know what you even identify as, because if you ask him, he genuinely can't tell you. And the thing with it that should have made it easy for a nation like Jamaica, neighbor, when you are a leader. Our coat of arms are out of many one people. So it simply means that we accept difference. We embody difference. In fact, difference is what makes the best of leaders, because they understand the commonality, which they can link with the people, but it is their difference that lets the people trust them, that him or her can move them forward, right? And that is what he's struggling with, because he doesn't know his identity, in all honesty, and definitely can't identify with the people of Jamaica. And those are two different things. So your identity and how you identify with are two different things. And he can't figure it out. And he will never figure it out because that is not who he is, neighbor. And that is the truth. In fact, he's having an internal warfare with himself because he knows the truth. What he's doing now and all of that is not going to work. It's not who he truly is. And he knows that no matter how many characters he changes, he can never identify with the people of Jamaica. And he will always face rejections, despite our nation says, out of many one people, neighbor. And it's a sad state for him.
Yeah. I put it to you, Harry, that I am in full agreement that Golden is weak, that Golden is not inspirational, and there's no collective vision. Oh, I'm sorry. Here, my phone has failed me a little bit. There's no collective. Are you still hearing me, sir?
Hearing your neighbor.
Yeah, there's no collective vision. Is part of the problem not that Golden is existing in a time when Jamaica is being led by one of its best political leaders, and that leader is performing creditably, Harry? Is that not part of the challenge that Golden faces?
I don't even want to say it's a challenge he's facing. And I'll put it this way. When Usain Bolt runs in a final, almost everybody does a personal best. In fact, the times in those races are actually the fastest right around the world.
He pulls you along. He pulls you.
He make you break a glass ceiling that you and reach a potential that you didn't even know that was there.
Very, very good.
But the problem is, Mark Golding still hasn't moved. Because the truth is, when you're up against somebody who keeps adapting and keeps getting better, by law, the nature of law, neighbor, or the law of nature, you should be getting better as well, not worse.
Yes.
You shouldn't be trying to reinvent the wheel because the person who's ahead of you would have made some things a little easier for you. And while you are, in the opposition of that person, in terms of position, there are things you can learn and adapt to yourself. And that will make you better. It lets you waste less time, which is your main resource, to try and figure out things. There are some things you can take from persons who you don't even like, but they're just good at it. And as such, you put it to you and you build yourself. But instead, Mark Golding, the race is being run forward and he's in reverse, neighbor. That is what we're getting from him as a leader. He's showing high level of incompetence in leadership when it comes down to politics, right? And I think he has also failed to understand that when you are a leader in a private sense, as a businessman, entrepreneur, etc., there are things you should have been able to carry over from that part of your life to politics. Because not many things change. If you're a leadership in one sector, there are things that you'll have embodied that you can bring over, maybe tweak it a little. But even that, he's showing that he has probably never learned anything and refused to learn anything. And as such, as Jamaica move forward, and as Andrew Holness adapts and grow, Mark Golding is stuck in reverse or probably neutral. Probably his handbrakes are still up, neighbor. We may have to check his character. We may have to check his ability to see if those are all, stuck in probably part 2. And that is not what you want to see from an opposition at all.
That's a brilliant way to put it, Harry. So let me put the question to you then, because leadership is not just about ability. It's about timing. It's about alignment. It's about readiness. And so I ask you tonight, Harry, is this a leader whose time is coming, or is this a leader whose moment has passed?
The opportunity for him was past, neighbor. Right? I think he has done the best he could with what they had. But it is time for him.
No, Harry's breaking up. Harry's breaking up.
Hearing me, neighbor?
I'm hearing you now, yes?
Okay. I'm saying he has done amicable well with what he has had and where the People's National Party was concerned, right? But I think he has run his race. So however short it was, he has run it. There are sometimes when you are in a position, neighbor, and you know you are now becoming diminishing returns the longer you stay. And you know when the opportunity passes, but something in you, which is a self-interest satisfaction, that let you stay in the position until that empire dies, until your achievement goes out the window and no longer is seen important. And you have to know when to hang it up. While he may have further aspirations to be leader and potential Prime Minister of Jamaica, this has passed him. He should extend grace to himself and step aside, because not only has the governance aspect passed him, neighbor, the politics has left him behind. I normally say where we are now, we have to see a lot of persons going out that are the pre-independence babies or in and around that area. I think the politics have surpassed or usurped those persons for them to be in the exact position, holding power and wielding power when they themselves are out of depth when it comes down to what is happening. And as such, his opportunity came and passed in a brief moment, but that is life and he has to accept it and let it go.
Great.